Right, good evening, chaps and ladies and whoever's there. Welcome back to VP4TV. We have decided to go with XSplit on sort of bare bones tonight. As you can see, we're just down to what you can see on screen. Hopefully you're hearing me loud and clear, and hopefully it sounds better because I have my new Logitech headset that not more than 20 minutes ago arrived at the door, and I've been trying to get it set up. So hopefully you can tell me if I sound better, clearer, if the bass is good, because I haven't actually had any great time to adjust the program that does the equalizer and everything and uses that blue sound technology. Does it sound okay? Well, it needs probably a bit of tweaking, but I'm glad it's working. Right. Well, first of all, Steve was in that room all last night. When he left the commentary booth last night in that match, he stayed in the room and he was in the room all night until he got up this morning and finally shut his PC down or left Virtual Pool 4. And since then, because I've been in all day, in and out, looking at the snooker on TV, or online, sorry, and Steve has not been in the lobby all day. And in the meantime, we are 1 minute, in fact, we're beyond the top of the hour for this one loss side match between Bedhead and MC_Clarky. Matt is here. I can't see Bedhead. Oh, there he is. He's arrived. I haven't got this headset set up with Discord because I haven't had Discord open. I've had no time. I've just been getting the thing plugged in, downloading the software for it. I had to update the G Hub. It's the G Hub that allows you to get in and configure all the sounds. But when I've got plenty of time tomorrow, I'll mess about with it a bit more. But it does look that there's a lot of detail that you can do with this blue sound technology to make your mic sound a lot better. And I do like the mic on this. The mic's far more flexible. It's one of those metal flexy ones. You know what I'm talking about. A bit like those little, the little freestanding thing that I've got for my webcam. In fact, talking about the webcam, I forgot about that. There we go. I've got the headset on. There's the old Razer ones that are sitting there, which will now be used in emergency. The room is up. Let's get ourselves in. We'll probably miss the lag. Yeah, what I've done is I've created another presentation for XSplit, cut all the crap out, and we'll just go with what you see here and the little, that one there, be right back sort of stuff. But no audio trickery or nothing like that. Anyway, well, these two guys, for those of you who don't remember, Bedhead has a high run of 120 in straight pool. And Matt, who in his very first match in this tournament, got his high run of 121. So there's a big fail already from Bedhead. A fairly straight in pot on a 4-ball, and he's missed it. Welcome to Mark. Do I sound any clearer? You can give me your thoughts with my... by the way, this Logitech headset, if you go into YouTube and you look at all the videos, a lot of them are about 5 years old. So these are an old set of headphones that have been on the market for a number of years. That's probably why I got them at a decent price. But they're certainly, it's a much, much better mic. And with that blue sound technology thing that you can tweak around with a good bit, I think it does make the mic sound maybe a bit more higher quality. Let me have a look at this. Going to hurt missing that shot right out of... Well, that's true. I mean, that was a big, big miss. So it was. Now, Steve, at some point, might turn up in this room, and then I'll have to bugger about with Discord if he's going to come into the stream. But I'm pretty certain Steve isn't aware that this is on because, like I said, at the end of last night, I think Matt sent me a message saying that that he'd arranged the match for tonight, and by that time, Steve had already left the building, and he's not been in all day unless he actually checks brackets on his phone, which I doubt very much he bothers to do. You're out of sync. It's Bedhead at the table. Oh, no, because I'm busy talking and looking around and reading the chat. Yeah, it's Bedhead at the table now, but who made an arse of the... Was it Matt that made an arse of the 4-ball? Well, it must have been. I'd get yourself out of this stream and bloody focus on what you're doing instead of listening to what I'm saying. Did he go to Augusta? I doubt it very much. He would have said... I don't think Steve's the right sort of patron that they're looking for there, because he'd just block people's views, so he would. I think they must limit the entry for the height of people. My game is out of sync. What the hell are we talking about here? Let me leave the room. Hang on. You got my bloody head twisted here with this crap. Hang on. Right. Now, Matt's at the table now. Is that right? Right. Maybe I was out of sync. Right, hang on. See that I don't like this. See this YouTube app on the phone. I don't like it at all, because the chat filter, you can go to top messages, which says show most messages with potential spam removed, or all messages, show every message including potential spam. Well, I've got it on all messages, but it's actually only showing I've got 4 people in the stream. But if I go to top messages, it tells me I've got 7. The thing's totally buggered. It doesn't bloody work properly at all, this YouTube app. I don't like it. I think they could do a lot to improve it. Yeah, it's now showing 7 because I've changed the chat filter thing on the phone. It's bloody stupid. On one of them, it shows that you're on 8 or 7, and the other one, it shows I'm only in 4. I can't work it out. Anyway, forget that. Let's concentrate on the business at hand here. Now, we need to get this camera down to sort of there. This headset's got the inbuilt... This is the one thing I don't like about these headsets, is it's got the... I don't know whether you can see it. It's got the inbuilt volume control and the mute button. I don't use the mute button because, first of all, these mute buttons end up going crackly. They've done that in every bloody headset I've ever had. And secondly, I use the mute on my XSplit, which I've got configured to... And you can't hear me swearing at you. So I don't use that mute, but it's got the inbuilt volume control. That's the sort of main flaws with headsets. That's probably why you're better off getting a freestanding mic, a proper mic, you know, with a boom on it that you can push out the way and all of that crap. But I'm not quite a high definition live streamer. And if I was making loads of money from my live streaming, then I would have better equipment. But we paupers have to make use of what we've got. Now, is there any balls down table here? Because this is where the business happens. There's nothing going on down here, so we don't need to worry about that end of the table. We just need to look for break balls. We've got a 12 ball that looks a good candidate. But it's maybe doubtful whether that will remain there. Have you tried uninstall and reinstall YouTube app? No. And I'm pretty damn certain that ain't going to fix it. I just think it's a piece of shit. Well, we can see where there is a slight issue that might need a bump, or does Matt want to really try and get on this to play that as a combo? Because he'll have to get the 4 in and roll through, unless he's going to play it from there. So this is a problem until he gets it dealt with sooner rather than later. He doesn't want to go bumping the wrong ball here either. And he's managed to just go through that little gap. Well, Judgment Day is on at the moment. For those of you who don't know, it's part 2 today, the final day of qualifying for the World Professional Snooker Championships. I've just switched that off to come onto the stream. And it looks like Ali Carter's going to get through. Hossein Vafai looks like he's going to get through. Mark Stevens, who's been to the semi-finals twice in his lifetime, he's maybe going to get through. And then the football's on tonight as well, which I'm going to miss. But of course, this is only a race to 150. And Matt's still got that potential break ball, which I'm assuming now he's going to have to probably pot because he's out of line. He is out of line. And he's looking around and looking around. He's going to have to bite the bullet and probably use the 6 ball as plan B here. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. And the problem with the 6 ball is it's right in the middle there. So if you're going to try and leave a high angle on it, you've got to watch you don't block yourself out with the pack. And then the other way to do it would obviously get yourself to the rail and cut it in to catch the corner of the pack. So it's going to be interesting how he sees this shot, but he should be perfect for it, though, with this roll through. Well, he's leaving himself high, and he's well away from blocking himself out. So let's see how he does. Now, anything but the middle of the pack. He's hit the corner, and the cue ball's trying to get away. Is he corner hooked? Well, the answer to that is not to the extent that he hasn't got a shot. I don't think he can squeeze that 10 ball in as a bailout. And don't forget, there's other 2 matches that are on the schedule as well. We've got Albinario and One Pocket Slim going at it at the weekend, and Cobra and Coldest Pillow a week on Sunday, which I will be there for. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that this damn thing doesn't decide it wants to shut itself down. I mean, I've got the bare minimum in operation here, just a webcam, Virtual Pool 4, the chat, and nothing else running. I've got no audio files to load. I've got nothing like that. Just bare bones, this setup. Well, that's a nice little bump. I think that's a perfect little bump as far as getting in to deal with that orange 13, which is awkward where it's sitting. Now, this could also be... It could also end up being another back of the pack break here. This 8 ball would allow him to get to the 15 ball that side because he's got nothing in and around the triangle here that is going to be any good to him at all. But the other issue is he's the wrong side of the 1 to get to the 2 because he would have liked to get the 2 out of the way also. Yeah. He's got to be careful here. He's got to be careful he doesn't get the wrong bump off something. And he's managed to avoid that. Well, is he going to play this 8 ball, or is he going to tidy up everything and use the... It looks like the 2 ball for the 8 to get to the 15, doesn't it? Well, maybe not now, the way he's sitting here. Now, it must be 2 ball down table, 8 ball, 15 ball. Or is he going to go from the side? Well, I think the problem is, with what he's chose to do, I think it's probably going to be more difficult for him to get good on this. I think he'd have been better doing what I was saying. I don't know whether you agree with me, but I'm not convinced that this is the best way to went about it. I mean, okay, if he gets there, fine, but I just think that that he was odds on. If he just got rid of that 2 and finished in the 8, he was good in the 15 for the break shot. I bet he's regretting it now. He might be too straight. I think he's too straight. He needs a sharper angle to get a good hit in this. And he's going for the draw. How lucky is he? Well, he's lucky enough. All you need is one ball. And is he going to give this a slam? Yes, he is. And, well, he's good to go for the time being. So he's found a way through there, but it was dodgy for a second. Right, let me have a read of this. Matt would do well to try it a little harder to preserve. Well, that's exactly what I would have thought. I mean, that 15 ball wasn't a conventional break ball, but to me it was a far better ball and easy to get to if he'd stuck to the sort of route plan that I thought he was going on. Because as far as I'm concerned, any other day he would have got. In fact, he wasn't in great shape in the first place to play that break ball, but he actually got a hit. But you don't want to have to start tweaking the cue ball a great deal to try and get a break shot to work, because that's asking for, a disaster to happen. But who are we to argue at the moment? He's on 47, and this is how you apply the pressure to your opponent. Now, is he going to bump the 7? Well, he's stunned up into the gap. I thought he could have just stunned into the 7, held it, got rid of that one. Well, 6 and half a dozen. So where's the break ball again? Well, it certainly ain't going to be anything there. It's got to be the 4. It can't be anything else at all. There's nothing there any good. What, the ball at the back of the pack was conventional, or it was acceptable as one? Is that what you're saying here, Pig? I mean, we do see balls, broken at the back of the pack. Generally speaking, they're sort of second choice, aren't they? I think most of the time we're talking about a ball like the 4 ball or something like that, left or right of the stack or the pack. Yeah. Well, here we go again. Cue ball's running loose, but he's good. So he's got a good 2 or 3 balls to start him off. I mean, here's an opportunity right away. If he comes down here, well, he's taking a smack into the pack there. And he's lucky he's got a bailout, because he was in trouble if that 1 ball wasn't there. Could he get to the 2? Yes, he could. So he's okay. But this is the puzzle of straight pull, that, you have this attitude when you look at this game for the first time. It looks so easy. All you're doing is potting balls. And it could not be further from the truth. To the lay person who's never seen a game of pool, and they see somebody playing a game called straight pool, and they say, well, what do you have to do in this game? Well, you can pot any ball you want, and what happens then? Well, you get a point for every ball that you pot, right? And what happens when you get down to the last ball? Well, you have to leave the last ball in a certain place so that you can break the re-rack when the re-rack's put in place. All right, that sounds easy. All right, well, try it and see what happens. There's definitely an art to playing straight pool. Definitely a good technique and a good. I mean, it has to be something that you played for a long time, and a lot of stuff just becomes instinctive. That's the way I see it. Straight pool players will work on instinct half the time, because they've been played thousands and thousands of shots, thousands of times. So it then just becomes an autopilot thing. It's like most things that you do long enough. I suppose it's like driving a car also. When you drive a car, when you're first going to drive a car, you've got to think about what your feet and your hands are doing. and what your eyes are doing. And then after you've done that for 10 years and passed your test eventually, you don't even think about it. I remember when I was going to get driving lessons, I remember one of the girls at work, this was years and years ago, I remember her saying to me, she says to me, you know something, see, once you learn to drive, you'll get home sometimes and you won't know how you get home because you're just running an autopilot. And she's probably right in what she said, because you're turning corners and you're doing everything. You're subconsciously you're doing everything right, but you don't have to think about it because everything's in coordination, and coordination and everything is something that plays a part in something that you're going to master, whether it be pool, whether it be football, hand-to-eye coordination. If you're playing darts, the more you practice at it, in theory, the better you should become, the better technique you should strive to get. Sounds like an Amish horse. What the hell's an Amish horse? Oh, an Amish horse knows where it's going. I've just got that. No, but that's true. I mean, I go into the car and the hand is in your feet and the gear stick and your accelerator and the brake and the clutch. Everything just, it's like playing one of those big fancy organs, the one with the multiple pedals. Not anything as detailed as that, but your feet just move and your head and your eyes are checking the mirrors. You're doing all of that instinctively because it was drummed into you in your driving lessons. But and I don't know why I'm equating that to straight pull, but I think you get what I mean. I mean, you do something so often and so long enough that obviously we're talking about professional players. They just do things in a conventional way that they're used to all the time. Give or take the old rub of a ball and ended up in the wrong spot or something, or a cluster suddenly forming for some reason. They'll end up generally getting to that break ball that they've wanted all the time. They'll have spotted it a long while during the rack and they'll pick their way right through it. But looking at this setup here, well, we've got a 1 ball, which would probably be the nominated ball. But we have an issue that needed a bump, and now he's going to have to dig out a cut because they haven't split. They've split into a parallel, into a line, which is no good. And now that needs to bounce because he needs to get to the bottom of that cue ball to do a little dig in this 2 ball. And he's just got there. Now, what way have I got this configured again? I'm going to have a drink. I'll have a little drink. Well, got the break shot. Cue balls come free. And he has a bailout ball to start him off. So this is taking a very nasty turn if you're Bedhead early on here. And Matt is certainly getting a grip of a ligature and setting it around Bedhead's neck right now. The one thing Bedhead is going to be more than clearly aware of is that when he gets to the table, if he does, then he has to put up. He has to put up a score at the risk of stating the obvious, because if he comes in again and just puts 10 or 12 on the board, he can forget it. I think he'll be dead and gone very rapidly here. Sometimes I get all the way to the wrong destination before I realise I was an autopilot. I like that. I mean, I've driven home, right? And when I come off the motorway and come into the top end of the town where I live, I go through a couple of roundabouts. The last roundabout I go through, if I go straight through the roundabout, I end up taking a right turn and heading into my estate, where my house is. But when I'm driving home, I'm thinking, I need to go into the local Tesco because I need to get something. And I'll think, right, well, that's what I'm going to do when I get down the road. As soon as I come to the last roundabout, what am I doing? Driving straight through it. And it's at that point that I realise I should have went straight to the right and went into the Tesco. I've done that about 5 or 6 times. I'm thinking when I'm driving down the road, coming down the M77 motorway from Glasgow, I need to go into the local store. I'll pick the stuff up there because when I finish my shift, usually the store's quite busy and the queues are quite big, so I don't have any patience to wait. So it's much more convenient for me to get into the small local Tesco store. But I've driven past it 5 times when I've had it in my mind, I've got to go in there. And that's definitely autopilot. That's just the feet doing what they do and just following the road. And I only realise a mistake when I'm outside my own door. Well, Matt needs one good brake shot here, and he should be on the turn. And dare I say it, at the risk of jinxing him, he could be on for the high run of the tournament. Oh, that hasn't broken well at all because he was actually quite straight in that. He didn't have as good an angle as he should have. And now I might have jinxed him because he's going to struggle here. If he's going to run the 7 and run into these, he'll be hoping he runs free and can maybe even get onto the 1 ball. He's too close to the rail. Big shot. He's managed to stun and avoid him, and that was good thinking because he would have been crazy to actually run into them. He could have ended up dead in the water, and that was very well thought out because the evasive manoeuvre was to avoid them and at least guarantee you had a shot. Now, does he want to be slamming this because this is too straight? This is a better bet. That's a better bet. Cue ball running loose, but again, he's nudged the ball out. This is just on the brink of going wrong here, isn't it? Now, he could finish below these 2 balls and get one of them down the table here. Oh, now, well, he's going to have to go the other way. I'm not so certain he played to get on that one. He might have tried to get on either of those because if he had finished there, he could have maybe sunk that one up table and get into them. So, he's hanging on by the skin of his teeth here, I think. It's not quite a desperate situation, but it's not far off it. That needs to slow up, but that'll do as an angle. So the run is 103. And they have broken, well, I was going to say beautifully because I thought he'd a decent enough break ball, but that 6 ball right on the corner of the pack. He could end up using the 12. It's actually it's actually almost behind the pack. But I don't think he's going to have a great deal of choice. That's me get the hiccups now after drinking that water. What am I missing in the chat? Am I missing anything? It might well be if that. I think that might be a correct statement there, here, Pig. I think you're correct in what you've said. He did the 1-2-1 in his very first match. So nothing down table, just 8 ball. And I don't think that the plan could have changed here. That looks tight to me, that shot. Oh, I don't like this. This is, I mean, yes, it'll go, but I don't like it. And he's blocked out an 8 ball. He might have to bite the bullet here, though. That was well done. Right then. So he's got to go on the 10 ball in such a way that he's going to leave himself sort of there, like that, you would think. Or he's going to try and get back into the table and use that 10 ball at the head of the pack. When did that get bumped here? I missed that. That'll do very nicely if he keeps running. Oh, he's barely got an angle. This could scratch if he's running forward to come off the side of the pack. Well, he checked it big time. As soon as it hit that rail, it killed it. And he can certainly move a couple of balls here. I don't know how much he wants to dig into this. If he hits them, he'll open them. If he hits that, he'll open everything, I think. Oh, that's died. That's died. That just died. He's sitting plumb in a 3-ball combo, though. He's sitting in a 3-ball combo. Oh, what do you do here out of desperation? I think you end up having to go for it. Because the 1-ball cuts in the side, but I think the combo looks easier to me than that. You just got to get the line right, and you've got a wee bit of room. That 4-ball, that 8-ball has to cut slightly to the 4. Aye, that 8-ball has to cut slightly to the 4 to get that hit in the 3. He doesn't have to cut it a great deal, though, but he's not. Is he looking at it, or is he looking at something else? Is he still back at this 1-ball? Well, I think the commentator's eye was a better bet. So the run ends at 112. That is an excellent start from Matt. And like I said before the end of the visit, that Bedhead, when he does get a chance, he's going to have to step up to the plate here, or he is gone. Well, you don't think that the 1-ball was tough, but that 3-ball combo was, it wasn't sitting perfect, granted. He had to cut that 8-ball slightly onto the 4, but I think I would have played that because I'm stupid enough to do that. In fact, it's still sitting there. I don't think it's been touched yet. It's unlikely it's going to remain there, but we'll see what Bedhead does, because I think he can get all 3 of them there from that side. He can tidy them up straight away. Now, where's his break ball, though? Well, the 14-ball would do, but it's tight. The 12-ball would possibly do, but that's probably a bit tighter. So it is now. As for balls down table, we've got the 7 and 9-ball right in the middle of the table. A lot of hard work here for Bedhead. But he is capable of doing it. We've seen that. But the one thing he wants to be doing is doing a lot better than he did last night. I'm going to have another drink. Well, right now there was the possibility of 3 break balls. One of them's going to go. That 1-ball would do as a break ball, and the 14 at the side of the pack would do. So the 1-ball's going to go. So that tells us where he's heading, or at least I think it does. Well, in theory, the one other thing that Matt could record here tonight is that he could win this match in 2 visits. That is very much a possibility. He's had 1 visit with 113 run. And if Bedhead slips up, it could be all over as quick as that. So we know where the break shot is. That's a bit straight looking again to me. Is he going to get enough hit? Maybe because he's close to them, he'll get a decent nudge. Yeah, well, he's got a nudge. Now, those balls have all come into a line on this right side of the table, but he's got the 8 ball and the 9, but they all just finished all in a line, those balls. Well, there's nothing down the table here to bail out on. And he'll have that issue on that right side of the table. Those balls all bounced and all finished like that from that break. Which is why the 8 ball and the 9 ball when there was the only thing he really had as a decent bailout ball. And cue ball trying to scratch. Well, he's now got a ball isolated, which I think, what is it, the 10 ball? 10 balls down table. As the emergency escape route. Well, we can also see where the 5 ball is, and that's not where you wanted. Well, the 5 ball where it's sitting, if you cut that in, you're going to do a bit of movement with those balls. You could clear up the problem in one stroke of the cue. So he's always got that to sort of fall back on. Well, it might be just as well that 10 ball is sitting there. Is it a 10 ball or the 14? It's a 10 ball because he's got a cut in the 15 that I'm not really convinced that's what he was trying to get on. If he was really lucky, he might have been able to get through that gap for the 5, but it's too tight. And he's now finished 2 straight in the 5 ball. Well, this is just, again, if he wants to, he can push this forward and run into them. And he could end up dead. He's taking a big risk doing that. The chances are, though, he'll have a bailout ball into the side pocket, but it's one way of trying to break something out. I mean, he could look, I mean, that's not a 3 ball combo. So the 5 ball and going forward and just having a nudge might work. It doesn't look as if he's doing it, though. He's not hitting it. Oh, he is hitting it. Oh, he's missed him. He didn't check the cue ball. He didn't check the cue ball. I thought he'd a bit of right on that just to get a nudge. It's tight. He's having to squeeze it a wee bit. 2 ball. You ever get that sort of sinking feeling when you're watching some of these guys get into a position where you think this is about the shit's about to hit the fan, as they say. You know, it's going downhill rapidly here. You could definitely squeeze that in. Just and no more. And we're struggling here to keep this going. He's got half a pocket to get the 15 in off the jaw. In fact, but that's the least of his worries. Since he finished up 2 straight in that 5 ball, this is no good. And he's going to have to work something in this 4 ball to get a hit. Well, now I don't know really what he's trying to do here because where he's sitting's no good. You can't, I don't even think you can get to that 12 ball enough to cut it. And he's gone too far again. And we're running out and running out and running out. He could drop the 13 in and come back across the table and try and get good in the 4. But that'll be last chance saloon in terms of improving this situation here. Or is he trying to play the draw? He's trying to play the draw. I don't know whether is straight enough to get a hit on something here, because he's cutting that back slightly, and if he jacks up to get a hit, this cue ball wants to come that way. Yeah, you see, it wants to come that way. And that's done absolutely nothing. He's going to go for the bank. I mean, the bank's a dead set, and he will bump the 6, no doubt about that. And it could have actually ended up pretty good, this. I mean, I can't see him missing the bank. The bank's in every day of the week. It's what the end result is that matters. Oh, that needs to slow up or keep going. One of the two. It might be working. I think he's going to hit the point. I think he's going to hit the point, or even just hit beyond the point here and come out and leave a cut angle on that 6. I think he's good to go. It looks okay to me. I don't think he'll scratch. What he doesn't want to do is die in the rail. That's perfect. I mean, okay, you don't want to be that distance away, but this is better than nothing at all. He's just got to hope this cue ball doesn't run up the table and scratch the corner. Big, well, every break shot now is a big shot for Bedhead. The run is only 26, and that's been like getting blood from a stone to get that far. I have no idea what that was all about. Did he call safety? Or did he make a complete arse of that? What was he trying to do there? Was he trying to hide the 6 ball up table or down table? Right, here, Pig, it's your turn to explain that shot, because that's got me bewildered. And that one from Matt is even more bewildering, because he's trying acrobatics there. He definitely played safe. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt then, seeing as that's what you think he's done. Well, that's what he'll be doing here as well. And Matt has got to keep things tight, because he doesn't want to give Bedhead any sort of encouragement. He's wanting to get that right up onto that rail. Sooner or later, we know that something's going to sneak out, something's going to get set up here. In fact, that's going to be a foul, isn't it? Yeah. Point away. Aye, that's what I meant to say. Was you watching that match last night here, Pig? So, in that case, whether you were or you weren't, you'll know about that that sort of bug where the ball, instead of being respotted on the head spot of the rack, it's spotted at the back of the rack. I can't remember who said it, because I started scratching my head and saying, what's happened there? Because it happened in the match last night that the ball got respotted, but but it gets spotted at the back of the rack. I'm assuming Steve's been told about that about 10 years ago, and he's never been able to fix it. I'm pretty certain that's like the snooker touching ball bug that's there. Whenever the black gets respotted, near a red, you get a touching ball sometimes, which should never happen. But anyway, I've ranted to Steve about that for years, and he's never ever got round to fixing it, or even taking the time to try and fix it. Well, this is going to get interesting here. I think we need to get into this a wee bit closer, because there's going to be something happening, and Bedhead doesn't want to be the one that does it. Now that might be it. Now here's a crazy shot. I've done this before in a game of straight pool. Not that I played much it, but I went up and down and banged that 6 ball, and that 13 ball went in just like that. That's absolutely stone dead. Matt's maybe missed a trick there, because Bedhead's got to be looking at that. He's got to be looking at that. Can that 15 ball get to the 10? No, that might be the reason it won't go. It might be the reason it won't go. You're asking, well, it won't go now. Does a 9 go? Well, look how much of the 3 ball is on the 2 ball. Can it get enough of the 9 ball for that 9 ball to go? Because if it is, it's plumb. I'm not convinced. Again, my commentator's eye tells me that's not on, because the 3's too close to the 2. I think it's nailed in the 2. So I'm not convinced he would get enough off that to get to the 9. But again, what am I? I mean, what expert am I in this game? I'm just looking at what my eye tells me. Yeah, it looks like the 2 and the 3 are too... They're too interfered with, if that's a way of describing it. Well, that 13's just got a little bit looser, but it's probably going to end up back in the stack here. Maybe not. See, the thing is that shot Bedhead's just played there, although it's not got any yardage in the cue ball, it's stopping Matt getting back to the kitchen. And if Matt does try to get back into this bottom half of the table, he's going to bump balls into play, which he doesn't want to do. So that was well, he's took the risk, and he's got a hit, and he's nudged the 13 out a wee bit further, but no major damage done. Although, let's have a look at that too. Now, that's nowhere near set on the 13. That's never a combo. It's never happening, but it will happen at some point. Not too far away, it's going to happen. But whoever it is, it's not a question of whoever does it. It's a question of whether the guy incoming is brave enough to have a go at it. Well, this is an invitation to get right onto that cushion. Nice little feather edge and a nice touch of weight to get to that bottom rail. Just a wee bit heavy. The idea was right, but just a wee bit heavy. That's, 8 or 9 inches too heavy. But if he gets another go at that, he'll probably get it a lot closer. But it's still got distance, and it's still got Matt in trouble. Now, he's having a good look at the rack here to see what he can visualise, but I don't think anything's doing there at all. Nothing happening. Although the 3 ball is off the 2, but the 9's going nowhere now at that angle. So this is going to be a dicey little edge that he's looking for. Now, those 2 aren't lined up at all. That's lined up going to the long rail, that 13 ball. But it's a punch up the table, but you've got to use the stack to hide the cue ball. Well, he wasn't punching it up the table, he was just hiding it on the other side of the stack. Now, that's quite a clever little shot, because, again, Matt's got to stay up this end. Oh, he might have made a mistake there, though. That's what you call a whopper. And it was going to come. It was going to come at some point. And Bedhead needs a good one. Cue ball's trying to go. It stays in the table. And he's got a bailout. I bet he was sweating buckets there. And he's also got a 14 ball that would do as the break ball to get rid of these. He could always fall back in something this side as a break shot in the future. So at the moment, he's good to go. But Matt was first to blink. Now, what can Bedhead make of it? Can he make something substantial by way of a reply here? Oh, well, again, he's just fortunate he still get bailout shots. Because that cue ball died a death. Although he could cut the 4 if he was desperate. I think he can get to the 4, maybe not. So he's going to tweak this 9 ball for a bump, is he? Putting a wee bit of right on it to do it. Yeah. Well, that'll work. He just needs to get rid of the 1 ball and everything's open. So all looks good for his future prospects in this rack. As long as he gets rid of this. And I don't think he wants to hang about too long to deal with it. Because who knows what might end up happening over this side. Although he's not exactly in the best position to get rid of the 1 ball at the moment. It's not desperate that he gets rid of it, but it's annoying that it's there, because if you have to bail out in something and it's one of these two and you're that side of the table, then you'll be kicking yourself. Oh, I never even noticed Napnicker there. Good evening to Napnicker. I'm too busy focusing on the bloody table here. I'm missing who's arriving and who's leaving. Well, that 1 ball still sitting there. The 4 ball does go, and the bump in the 15 will deal with that situation. Now, did you want to bump this hard? You might want to just give this a wee tickle and use the 8 as a bailout, just to try and nudge that 15 into another prospective break shot. And that was clever thinking, because that's pretty much very handy as an afterthought there, that 15 ball. The 5 ball would be good, but he's obviously going to have to commit himself sooner or later. And he's got these balls here to get to whatever break ball he's going to use. He could still use the... is that the 11 or the 13? It's the 13. He could still use that. So we're not 100% convinced what he's doing here yet. But looking at where the 8 and 6 are, I think we've guessed now that he's going to use the ball on the right side. And it seems he's been at the table for a while, but he's still only got 12 on the board in this visit. So he's a long, long way to go. So let me know what you think, guys. I mean, bear in mind I haven't dialed in this blue sound technology, because I only got it fired up and plugged the mic in to make and got it all set as default. But are you more impressed with the audio quality? Because obviously I won't get to hear it until I look at the video. Are you more impressed with the audio quality you're getting out of this than what you were hearing when it was going through voice mod? You can share your thoughts with me, because I'm going to just tweak it here and there. What you do is quite a bit of these sound softwares do this nowadays. You record your voice, 1, 2, 3, 4, testing, and you use that as your test when you're tweaking around with the equalizer and all the other options. I did a little bit of that, but I was only at it for 2 minutes, and then the clock was winding down to actually get the bloody stream started. So we are 53 minutes into. Well, is that meant to be a compliment? Well, your mic is beautiful. You sound my age. I'll take that as a compliment then, because I definitely feel like 60. Welcome to Tam. And I've switched the bloody webcam off again. Hang on, I think I did it to take a drink or something. So there's my Logitech headset, if you can see us. And it's got a much, much better mic, a much more flexible mic, one of these wee metal ones with this rib thing that you can bend and twist and turn. It's perfect for that. As I was saying earlier, that these Pro X headsets are about 5 or 6 years old, because a lot of the videos I've been seeing on YouTube are all about that age. And I think they must have been about £100 odd when they first came in the market. I got these for $59.99, and I ordered them yesterday, and they arrived today. I mean, what's modern technology like? I mean, you think about it. You used to order stuff like this, and it would take a fortnight to arrive. Now you can order it and get it within 24 hours. And I sat for 5 hours today watching the snooker on one monitor and watching the little map following the guy's van all the way down from Glasgow and getting updates. I was 118th delivery and watching them all count down as he was heading south into the town. How sad am I? Is Jackson Page, what is that, him 9-7 behind or 9-7 up? So he's almost down and out then. Yeah, it was a toss-up between the HyperX ones and these ones, but the HyperX ones I was looking at, I saw a couple of the reviews on them. I don't know what model they were, but they didn't like the attachments that went from the headband to the headphones themselves. They were a bit ropey. They weren't the most sort of stable things. So I plumped for these. I've had Logitech headphones many moons ago, and I thought they were a good price. And they're a bit more. They're a bit neater than the Razer X ones. And as I said, the microphone is of far better, and especially that software. It can let you tweak the audio to get what sounds as if it's a sort of slightly more expensive microphone setup that I've got, even though it isn't really. Oh dear, what a miss there from Bedhead. Goodness me, what the hell was he trying there? That is a big boo-boo on only 24, and his total is 50, and that could be sayonara. That could be it all over for him. Like I said, Matt, his first visit, 112. It could be all over in 2 visits for Matt. But that's a huge miss there. I don't know what Bedhead was doing there or what he was thinking, but it wasn't potting the ball. That's what he wasn't thinking. His mind's drifted away. I don't know what happened to him. But it might be that he's going bye-bye. Well, not when he's left a decent setup like this. I mean, Matt's landed perfect in this. It's all about the control of the cue ball, how now he's been coming off quite firm and back the way. Where's this cue ball going? He's okay. And he's got a pot. Now, I don't think he can help himself here. It would make the pot a lot more difficult if he starts jacking up to hold the cue ball. He's going to run into these. And he needs to hope he gets lucky that he doesn't stick himself on something. If he's taking the 6 ball, he needs to hope he doesn't run off something and scratch after it either. That looks a danger. He's digging up to hold it, though. And it makes the pot that wee bit more difficult when you're jacking up, but he's played it well. Well, I think there's no doubt that Bedhead can play this game to a certain level. I mean, these guys can put a run together at any time, but like I said earlier, that's not quite as simple as it sounds, because these balls will roll into an awkward shape. You'll run out of balls to deal with problems. It's the same old story. If you've got the ability to move the cue ball, that's all very well. But if these object balls don't bloody fall into place and do the right thing you want them to do, then you're still going to be stumped at getting decent runs. And it can happen in a sequence. And, anybody can have what you would call that off day. But I think Bedhead is gone here. I think there's not much doubt about it. I think he's gone. This could be a 2-visit win here for Matt. Although, having said that, that's still up in the air with these two set like that, going nowhere fast. I mean, this ball is your break ball. Oh no, it isn't, because it's in the stack pretty much. But they will both go now, and they might have to use the 2 at the head of the pack there. He won't have much more of a choice. Well, is he hoping to nudge something into play when he pots one of those 2 balls? I can't, for the life of me, see how this is going to pan out. He's certainly got the angle. He might have far too much angle. So you would imagine he's going to play that firm to get the stun into those 2 balls. Or is he trying to cut the 15? No, he's going to play the stun then. Well, I think he's landed plumb. He has landed plumb here. How about that? Absolutely plumb at the back of the pack. Well, that couldn't have worked out much better. Oh, cue ball. Oh, it's going to bump. It's got... No! Wow. I thought he was gone there. I bet he thought he was gone as well. The cue ball stays in the table. Wow. Well, if you're going to get lucky, that's where you want to get lucky, because that was scratching every day of the week, the way I seen it. And he's still got a cluster at the back, because he's obviously still, 17 away. So he's going to need all of these and another rat yet to seal the deal. And he can be brave the now if he wants. No, he isn't. He's using common sense and putting the points on the board until he gets a lot better. But he obviously needs to get hit, because there is none of them loose enough to go anywhere. Well, he went for a little nudge there, and again, that could have went wrong, and he's now created another problem. But he's immediately going to deal with the problem here. He's got an angle. He's got enough of an angle to get the hit. Cue ball's gone this time. Bye-bye. There you go. That's what can happen in straight pull. And it ain't all over in 2 visits. The run is 22, but I'm safe in saying that this is last chance saloon for Bedhead. Well, what a sensational finish this will be if Bedhead can take this home. Well, is that a combo down table towards us? That set. Not really. It's a bit touch and go to the knuckle there. And I mean, if you played it at a slow pace, it might hold the rail enough and hold a line to get in. But do you want to leave it at that? Do you want to take that risk? We might be about to find out. But you can certainly tweak the combo as it is. You can certainly tweak it and get the line better. So I would expect him to get this in without a great deal of trouble. Different camera as well. You look like Hugh's cousin. What do you mean different camera? That's the new webcam that I got a few months ago. I'm just an ugly bastard. Why don't you just say it, Tam? I mean, I'm not going to switch off in a huff. Just call it like it is. I don't give a shit. Right, here we go. Well, where's the break ball? Well, it's any one of these balls that's in the table, bar the one ball at the moment. And toss a coin, because to me it's anybody's guess as to what he's going to do here. What time is it? These matches will just have started. The Arsenal game, Real Madrid, Arsenal 3-0 up. I want to see that. Well, Bedhead has got to get perfect, or at least more than half decent on this 2-ball, because there's no doubt that's the one he's going to be working with. Now, where the 2-ball is now, or the cue ball is now, that would work. So that's roughly where he wants to be, something on that sort of line inside to get onto that stack. Well, he's made sure he's inside. He maybe much prefer just to be there so he can get at the cue ball, really. I suppose that'll be better than nothing at all. Well, cue ball went forward, got a bonus ball, got bailout balls all over the place. He's good to go. And he's got a break ball. That 3-ball looks prime again. Let's have a look. Yeah, the 3-ball is it. At the moment, the 4-ball may well do as well. So, yes, things can move. There's all of this stuff going on here that he wants to get to fairly rapidly. So that's where the work needs done. There is nothing in the bottom half of the table, so all the work is going on right up at this end of the table. I presume he can see enough of the 11 and deal with that. Or can he? Maybe not. Maybe not. So now he's a bit the wrong side of the 9, but is he going to hold the cue ball and play that combo along the rail, or is he just going to come out and cut the 7? I mean, he could do either or, I think. I think he's more likely to come out and cut the 7. No, he's checked it. He's checked it to try and hold the line to play that combo. Again, it's a combo that you should never really be missing with these pockets. You've got so much room for manoeuvre. You can just, a nice, reasonable stun and it will go in. Aren't most Scots ugly? Well, I blame that on our ancestry, because I'm sure we've got a mixture of Welsh and Irish in us. So I blame the Welsh and Irish. And these rampaging Vikings who come over here and raped and pillaged us back in the day. You can just squeeze that in. But now he's got a problem in the middle of the stack. He's definitely got a problem. Well, I think he was hoping to leave an angle in that 3-ball to do a nudge or something. I might have got him wrong. But, or maybe he did play for the 1-ball. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But what does he do here? Because this I mean, he could stun that in and get a hit. That's a bit risky doing that. But at least he would be making sure he's avoiding his break balls, whatever one he settles for. But he's got to get the hit. If he doesn't, he could end up in all sorts of trouble. And he's got the nudge. That's perfect. That's perfect. Well, ideally, he wants to get into the gap here. If he cuts that 6 ball, he wants to get up the table into the gap to get rid of that 11. Or he commits and gets rid of the 3 and keeps the 4 as a break ball. That's where he's going to go. So we know what's happening now. Well, these are the most critical shots in every rack, aren't they? I mean, just getting that pattern right so that everything falls into place and you've got no stress in getting on that break ball. But he's going to have to roll this cue ball into place, I would think, the way he's sitting here. So this is it. All or nothing again. And he's too straight. That's the problem. Yeah, that's a wise move. That's a wise move. Get it into the stack, break from the kitchen. Well, is he not leaving this a bit straight? He wants a better angle than that, does he not? He's leaving it a bit straightish. Well, there's a bit more of a cut on it now that I look at it. Cue ball's coming away. Oh, he's going to have to cut the 5. He's going to have to cut the 5. He ain't got any other choice. Well, he's got a very, very stupid 13 ball, let's be honest. He's got a dodgy 14 ball, but this is the least dodgy of them all, the 5 into the side, and you've got to watch the cut. It might cut more than you think, or it might need cutting more than you think, this 5 ball. So the run is 24, he's still miles behind. And he's struggling now. He's going to have to cut the 8 up the table into the corner and go forward and up into the table here. Because that's the one way of going on either of these 2 balls. You've got to let the cue ball open out. Well, that needs to open out more than that, unless he's trying to open the 10. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. Looks like that's what he's played for. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. To me, I thought the safe route was to get yourself up the table and at least give yourself a clean sight in them. Cue ball's gone again. Oh, it went round the corner. Heart in your mouth time. Another thing about these headphones as well is they actually sit better in the glasses, so they do. I can feel the freedom of movement in my specs. They're not, these, they don't press, or maybe it's because the cups are a bit smaller than what the Razer ones were. The ear cups are a wee bit smaller. But you can see my specs are moving up and down, no problem. Cue ball trying to get a scratch again. Right, so once again, we're nothing isolated down table towards us. But we've not really got anything adjacent. That's as good as it's going to be, that 3 ball. He's got to get in and get rid of the 6. And I think he should be doing that now, I would imagine. But then what's he going to do? If he's going to keep the 3 ball there, if he's going to get into the 6, he needs to watch what line he's taking this side of the table, because this cue ball wants to come out. He might be dragging all the pace off this. Got a bit of left English on it to nip himself away and avoid getting near the 3. So that's going to deal with a blocker there. Now, does he want to come around the back end here and take that risk? He could always get rid of the 13. No, he's going forward. going to do it the other way. 6.5 or dozen, as long as he gets reasonably straight on it. I mean, again, if he takes that ball, what one's he going to use to get to the 3? Is it going to be the 1 ball to come up into the table, or is he going to break from the back of the pack? Or is he keeping the 1? In fact, the 1 ball's actually outside. I thought the 1 ball was in the triangle. It's not. It's good. The 1 ball's good. Never looked at that. So that's... that means you don't have to bump or move anything. He just has to get good on it again. And that looks reasonable enough. I mean, he can stun up the table. He needs to keep stunning up the table, though. Oh, well, he's got an angle. Barely. And he's got a bailout ball right side of the table. I think the balls are all blocking, but that's a combo. You can play that as a combo, can't if he was desperate. Yeah, he's going to do it. So 3-ball combo. And he won't be slamming this, I don't think, because he can hold for the 12 into this. Well, he is slamming it a fair bit. I was going to say that if he didn't slam it, he could have held for the 12 into the side. Problem now is he's going to have to play the dodgy cut in the 6. Cue balls want to run away somewhere. I think he should have played that a bit softer. Hindsight's a beautiful thing, but I think he should have played that a bit softer. But anyway, he's dealt with it. So, nothing down table again. Up at the business end of the table. Those 2 balls pass one another, I think. You can get them along the rail. Yeah, so there's not any problem there. It's just that you've got to get there sooner rather than later. So, let's see how he goes about this. And I've suddenly got an itchy nose again. Well, everything's blocking the path to that pocket there. He can't really get to anything there right now from where he's sitting. Oh, well, again, he might be trying to do another bit of nudging here. Is that 7 and 8 set? No, they're not. 15 goes through the gap. But he really does need to bump something here rather, again, sooner than later. I don't know that this is any good. I'm talking about the pass each other going this way, not going that way. Well, the 14 will go. He can get enough of that. But can he get the cue ball out of there? He only needs to come out to here and he's got a shot one way or the other. What the hell's he doing here? Is he still convincing himself this 3-ball goes? Yes, he is. Well, that was bloody tight. I still think it'd have been better taking the 14. Well, he's going to try and pinch something out of this because he's pretty much he's slightly inside it. But he's running out of options here again. Running out of options fast. This is the critical ball here to finish on it in one way or another, to do a bump one way or another. If he starts getting greedy and doing crazy stuff with the cue ball, he'll end up in deep doo-doo. He's gone too straight. He's got a slight angle. Now, if he stuns this big time, just to get a nudge, well, now he's stuck onto the 10, trying to get the little angle in the 8, and that'll do it. That'll do. Now he's good. And he's still got a break ball. Well, he brushes the 9, no harm done. And a bailout in the 2, so he's in good shape here to keep going. But it's still hard work. The run is 48. But it's going to look a lot better to him in a couple of seconds. Once, oh dear, commentator's curse. He's missed the 2 into the side. Unbelievable. Yeah, and he says why. He says why. And a concentration on Bedhead has just deserted him there. Are you joining Friday Night 9 Ball also this week? I'll think about it. I will think about it. Well, that was the unexpected chance that Bedhead had there. Just as I was about to say the scoreboard would look that bit nicer to him in the next couple of shots. Boom, he misses a 2 into the side. And Matt's got the angle. And he's going to have to bust these up straight away unless he cuts the 13. Yeah, that's done some damage. Well, Matt's going to need, another 10 balls. So, well, there's 3 of them. He's going to have to move something, I think, in all honesty. I mean, the 14 ball will do. What was Matt's run? 112? Well, that pretty much was it. It broke the back of the match, really. And he's got the nudge. He's on the 14. Pick off the 7 at the back there. He could actually play to run in the gap if he wants. He's trying to go the other side of the 2. Missed the 2. He didn't plan that. He wanted to miss the 2 and pot the 2. That's what he was planning to do. And he's blocked off on the bailout balls up table. Would you believe it? He's almost over the line, and that nudge has killed the cue ball stone dead onto the 15, and he ain't got a bailout. He ain't got a bailout ball, and Bedhead lives again. Well, I'll tell you something. This is, it was last chance saloon when Bedhead was at the table, but this is like a resurrection that he's coming back to the table. This is how things, when you think everything's going good and you can see the finishing line, and there's no doubt Matt could see the finishing line there, and suddenly he stuck himself on the 15, 2 bailout balls to get to one way or another, and he can't see a sniff of them. And there's nothing doing this side of the table. Well, the fact that he's lost a point is immaterial. He's left a shot on for Bedhead. The cut on the 6 ball. It's safe to say that Bedhead's still got a lot of work to do to get out in this rack, because these 2 balls here aren't doing anything. They're not set, but you're going to have to be reasonably good on them to make that combo if you're not intended to get a bump on them somewhere or another. So it's hard work here for Bedhead. It might be short-lived, this resurrection. But it is still an opportunity. He could try and drop in behind the 9, or just get into the... If he'll finish the middle diamond up top, he would have a shot one way or another on either the 2 into the side or the 9 down into the corner. Well, he's got a bump in both set of problems. And I think that has worked out very sweet, apart from the fact he's still not got a break shot, but he'll worry about that when he gets there. I mean, he's opened everything out. Well, it could be trying to leave the cue ball. Well, I don't know. I mean, it could still end up maybe trying to leave the cue ball into the stack so that it can use the 6 ball as a break shot. That could be a possibility. I mean, that's very much a possibility, but he has to get this pattern right to play the 2 ball and hold the cue ball in that triangle. There's the break shot. The break shot is there. You cut the 6 and you smack the pack. Or he's going to go inside in the 1. But that 1's well above that pack. So the fact that he's potting the 2 now means he ain't doing what I'm thinking he was going to do. So good luck to him, because this is vital. Now, is he trying to run forward and get into the kitchen to play the cut shot into the side? I'm not sure what he's doing, but that's still another option that he might be able to run this through. I don't know. And spin it. Let's have a look. Oh, I don't think he's really got enough angle to work with there at all. But he is. He's trying to tweak it through to probably use this 6 ball, I think. Commentator's eye. The commentator's eye said it needs to spin out, though. Well, it's better than having no shot at all. But that wouldn't have been where he'd been put the cue ball with ball in hand had he kept it in the stack. But like I say, it's still better than nothing at all. He's going to have to hit this fairly thin, I think. Big shot again. And he's over the 100. And this needs to come out good. And he's missed him completely now. Did he think he had to... that he wasn't going to get the pack, so he went 3 rails? Well, I'm not sure. I knew he had to hit it fairly thin to get a hit on them, but I'm not convinced that that was maybe the right way. But anyway, as long as he keeps it safe. Well, you said 2 cushion, but the problem with that is that you look at the distance the cue ball has to travel around 2 rails to get to the pack. By the time it gets to the pack, it's not really going to have a great deal of momentum to do an awful lot of damage with a solid wall of balls. But anyway, he's kept it safe for the time being. Now here we go again, and of course Bedhead has to win the safety exchange here, or he definitely will be dead and buried. That's pretty good. I like that. I mean, he's not hit a rail, but that's immaterial. He loses a point. But what's more important as where he put the cue ball. But you see, Bedhead has suddenly started using his head, and that is a clever shot because he's nailed him to the rail. And now it's all about that delicate finesse, that very delicate touch in these balls, because they are going to spring out. And Matt was the one who made the last mistake in the safety exchange. And that cue ball is married up to the 3. The referee would be calling a touching ball if this was snooker, because that is solid on the 3. But now we've got a loose ball, and that now makes the situation much more difficult, because now you've got to protect the avenue to this 11 ball. Another point goes. And we had that 15-point foul last night as well, remember? First time in the tournament, I think that's happened. At least it's certainly the first time in the stream I've seen that. And I think it was Bedhead that committed it. Well, we won't have to wait that long for things to change up here. There's another one leaked out, and he's left it short. He's left it short. Another mistake, and Matt has made the mistake again. Now, Bedhead needs to tweak this in and come around and get that angle in the 15, and he'll do severe damage here. And that is pinpoint. Well, now it's beginning to get interesting, if it wasn't already. Because if Bedhead can get on a roll here, that's a bonus ball going in as well, but he's still got a bailout. So if he can get on a roll here, it might get very interesting. Well, the surprising thing is that you've got to remember now that we are very much running out of matches in this tournament. And I think Acero's high run may well last the distance. You know, unless somebody pulls off something between now and the final, it looks as if Acero's high run might be the one. Oh, now what's he done? What has he done here? I'll tell you what he's done. He's got a dodgy 2 ball. That's what he's done. He's got nothing else. He has got a very... Now, he's already missed a 2 ball, something like this, and he's just going to stick it in the 3, and I think that's a wise move. That's a wise move. There's somebody that knows his limitations there and decided it was too much of a risk when it was far easier to lock up the cue ball. Now, Bedhead's, you know, he's getting into this this winning frame of mind, and that should be a warning to Matt, because Matt's lost to 2 safety exchanges when it's come down to the little tickle in the pack. Matt's the one that's made those mistakes and let Bedhead in. Like, fair enough, Bedhead's not really made a huge impact on it. He's just stayed in the match, but these next few exchanges are going to be the one that could decide the course of this match, because they're now on a foul each, or 1s and 2 and 1s and 1. I don't have a clue. This is why we should have a counter in the bloody HUD. All it's showing you is -1 and whatever. That just confuses me, because I don't know what's going on. Here we go again. Now, who's in 2? We could have another 3 foul here, because I think both of them, the sphincters are tight enough that they're scared to do anything, to bring anything into play. And Matt, I mean, if Matt took the foul and lost those 18 points, he's going to end up breaking as well, isn't he? That's the other big mistake he could make if he ended up going down that route, and he'd end up losing the match possibly. So there's a big sweat on here. There is a huge sweat on here in this setup. He's got to make a move to a rail. Well, that was always going to be a sellout, wasn't it? He had to get to a rail, and Bedhead has got, well, he's got the roadmap to get out here. Not to win the match, but to get that momentum he needs. And he's still got this issue here because, again, yes, you can certainly probably pot the 7, but only if you're down here on it. It's fairly tight to squeeze it in, I think. And I think you can get it, but I don't know whether he wants to even be contemplating getting there to do that. Well, how are we doing here? We are 93 minutes into this match and nobody knows who's going to win this thing. I have no idea what's happening. Did he try the little bump there? I think he did. I mean, I could give him the benefit of the doubt and say he played for the 5, but I think he might have tried to squeeze a little bit on that 7 ball there and didn't get there. But this is last chance saloon to get there, I think, now. I presume he's just coming back to leave himself on it, and he's trying to break them. That'll do. So now what's he got as a break shot? Well, it's sitting there. He's got a ball that will allow him to get there. So the roadmap is there. Well, Matt's now sitting, wondering whether he's maybe played his last shot, because these next few shots here are going to swing Bedhead into this vital next rack. But he's going to need all of that. Getting to the hole. Yes, it just got to the hole. I don't know that this was exactly where he was planning to be to get onto this 10 ball. This is horrible. I mean, the angle, the cue ball just wants to run down into the 10 ball from this line. So is he going to... He's trying to drag the pace and hold it. Well, I don't know that this is ideal. All he can do is cut this and pot it. I don't think he can he's just got to pot this and let this cue ball run off the stack. I don't think he can be aggressive. He's just got to let this come off and hope that he gets something out. And he's got something out, and that'll do. That will do. And if he plays it low on the 1, he might be able... I don't know that this is so great, the way these balls are sitting here to do damage and try and do damage from that. I'm not so convinced looking at that angle. Well, we'll find out. I'm wondering whether he's come... Well, he's obviously come down and had a look at it. He's going to do some movement here. I'm not sure what he's going to do. I don't know whether he's going to get the meeting, most of those, and whether that's the 14 ball that's going to do some damage and get them out. No, he's hit the 8 ball full in the face. He's dead in the water. He's got nothing. Oh, he's got the 3 ball. He's got the 3 ball. Just and no more. He took far too much of that 8 ball. And he's got to run up table this time. Well, he is hanging on by the skin of his teeth here, because this is not good. Well, he can hold the cue ball. That 9 ball does go. Now, if he nips back off it and pots it, he doesn't need a huge angle in this 9, but he can certainly get a bump. He can certainly get a bump and do some damage using that 9 ball. It's tight. It needs to slow up. Well, I think that'll do. I think that'll do. He's going to have to get in the right side of that pocket just to be sure that he's not taking anything of that too. And that will do very nicely, because now he can just cut that 13 and do the final little nudge. Or does he want to deal with the 14 first? Whatever floats his boat. But obviously this is where he wants to deal with that issue. And where's the break ball? He's got the 1 ball isolated, the 8 ball. The 7 ball looks like it, but it's going to be a bump here, and that could change the situation. Doesn't want to bump anything too hard. The 6 ball will do, but he's not sitting in the 7, so it's we're on plan C or D here at the moment, and he's still there. He's moved on to 1, 2, 5, 14 behind, and 25 away from the finish line. And these next 4 balls, vital to the progress and survival of Bedhead. Well, he couldn't be sitting any better after he pots this 8 ball. That needs to come back the other way, and it has come back the other way. Has it come back far enough, though? Well, now he's going to have to work the cue ball again. He's cutting the 6 ball, so this is going to be running around the angles. He'll probably end up too far away from the 7 than he would really like to. It needs to keep going. It needs to keep going, or he's going to have nothing. And that's no good. He's going to slam this, but he could end up stuck in the side of the pack here with nothing. This is horrible. And he's missed him. And, well, I'll be honest with you, I think that's probably the best thing that's happened here, rather than sticking himself on the actual pack. Because he can certainly get to a rail and do very little damage here and just protect his points and leave Matt nothing. So here we go again. Now, this is the interesting thing, that now Bedhead's got Matt into this safety exchange here, and Matt looks as if he's in a wee bit of a hurry there. And Matt's lost the 2 of these safety exchanges that we've had. So now Bedhead's going to cut this 5 ball up the table and put it into position. Well, he's potted it into the side. That doesn't matter. He's now, so there's a situation there where it's been stuck. Well, it's not going to go in the head of the pack because of the 2 balls out of line, the 10 balls out of line. But there's a chance for Matt to get to the cushion, and that's an excellent shot. Now we need to look and see if there's anything happening. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know that 13... Is that 13 ball on? There's a gap. I know, well, it won't matter. He wasn't even considering it. Well, what's happened here? Nope, the 4 ball's in the way. Or is it? Can you get... I don't think you can get into the 12 ball enough. You can't get into the 12 ball enough, I don't think. You can't get in there to get to that 12 and 5. So we're now back into the safety exchange. Well, anything thicker than very, very thin edge here is going to bring a ball into play. Well, I'm just worried that there's not enough room past the 4. But if I look at it at that angle, then I say the 5 goes, because that's the only problem. Now that nudge there that Matt has just played, he's got the cue ball on the left-hand side of the table, but I think that's even more on now, although I think the 13's struggling to get past the 11. Anyway, I don't think that's going to matter because that's all going to change. Or is it? Hang on a minute. What's Bedhead done here? Matt might be taking the bait here. Matt might be taking the bait. Or is he? Has he learned his lesson? He's looking at it and looking at it. I think this is hard to judge. That 4 ball looks in the way that side. You'll be a brave man to have a go at this when you're only 11 points away from the finish line and your opponent's 20. That's going to be a point away. Well, what does Bedhead do here? He could roll to the kitchen, the bottom rail, can't he? Just try and nail it to the rail. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. Well, Matt's left himself open to that by not getting the hit there. I'm sure Matt didn't try to deliberately play the foul, and that's forced him. Well, that's a beautiful edge. He hasn't got the length of the cue ball, but he had to make sure that if he hit that thicker than he intended, he wasn't bringing anything out. That's why he played it so soft. That was quite a good touch he showed there. Well, this is the bit I enjoy about this straight pull, especially when it gets to the sphincter tightening situation like this is, where somebody is going to make a mistake here and something is going to fall into shape. I am still awake, Bedhead. Don't you worry about it. I am glued to this. Well, there's a mistake. And if that goes into ball in hand situation, it could be a disaster. Oh, look at this for a shot. Wow. Wow. Oh, goodness me. He is locked out big time. What a jammy get that Matt is. It must be said. He is a lucky piece of shit, so he is, isn't he? Oh, God. Well, if you're going to get a roll of the dice, now's the time you want to get it. Now, what a shot that was to take on. Matt's lost patience, and has he committed Harry Carey, or is he going to get away with it again? No, he won't, because the 3 ball goes. The one, I don't know whether he can get to the one, but he'd be hampered over the balls, but that's an easy enough 3 ball. And Matt, in the 3 safety exchanges, the notable safety exchanges in this match, he's lost all of them because that 3rd one there, he just lost patience and went hell for leather for it. And Bedhead now has him at his mercy, and he needs 20 balls to win this, so he needs another rack, and that's the only lifeline that Matt may well have here. These balls are sitting pretty good, aren't they? I mean, apart from just a little bit of I mean, these 2 both go anyway. You've just got to get in there and deal with them. They're not a problem. Nothing needs to be touched. You just have to, I mean, you could play the combo here without breaking a sweat. And everything else is perfect. And he's got a break ball, so this could not be a better rack to take you to that final rack that he needs. Although he doesn't want the 6 ball to marry up with the 4, but I think that's dead set as well also. Yeah, that's unmissable, that combo. He doesn't need to try and get the cue ball into them or anything like that. He just needs to eventually finish reasonably good on him and get rid of it. So no sweat on this situation. And, well, he's dealing with it now, but he could also just have got rid of that 14 ball right now because he was on it. Or he can take it into the side if he's on it that side. Yeah, got to get rid of it now. I mean, you don't want to leave this too late to try and get there. I mean, he's got loads to bail out on here. Why is he not dealing with it now? Well, we'll see if he'll live to regret that. Well, I think you would just say, here, Pig, I think you would just say that's straight pull, because that's what can happen. You know, you can be dead and buried with one guy in a race to 150, put 125 in the board, and then missing. If you do the same and better, then you can pull it out the fire. I mean, Bedhead's not exactly done that, but he's done the most important thing, that when he's got involved in those safety exchanges, he's won all three of them. And that might be the most significant thing about the whole match, is that when it came down to just that tickling the pack and manoeuvring around that stack, he's won all three battles. And that's one thing that can end up being significant in how you win this tournament as well. It's not just about the fact that you're hoping to get big runs on the board. It's about getting a run and protecting it, or at least keeping yourself in the match. And he's done that. And Matt lost patience there. He went for the finishing line. He who dares wins. It might not work out for Matt, but at least he grew a pair to have a go at it. And it didn't work out for him. It's not over yet, but these next three shots here are going to decide if it is over. Did you? No, I'm talking about the tactical battle where you tried to slam that pot down the rail and broke the pack open. That was the third battle I'm talking about. I'm keeping count. They're the three significant parts of the match that I remember. Well, Bedhead is 7 away. But like I said, I mean, you know, when you see the finishing line and you see that opportunity, you do sometimes have to just grab the bull by the horns and have a go. And fair play to Matt, he had a go, and it's probably not going to work out. But you know, you're never going to get very far in tournaments if you don't suddenly grow a pair and have a go at something. Because it gets down to the wire. You don't want ever to regret not having that go. If you bottle out and decide, oh, I won't do that, you know, that can also backfire on you. But meanwhile, 4 balls away and they're all there. So where can this go wrong for Bedhead? But it has made it enjoyable. Probably Matt's going to say it wasn't that enjoyable, but it's been a battle. Matt put in the second high run of the tournament for himself, over 100. He's done well in that score, but it just wasn't quite enough. He was hoping to top that and get the new high run. Didn't quite get there. Maybe if he had got there, it might have turned out different. But Bedhead, you know, he's just hung in, and he's just done enough to get over the line. So well done to him. So Bedhead marches through. Matt, unlucky in the end. There wasn't a lot in it, to be honest with you. That was a significant run that Matt had, but you know, from 100 odd behind, Bedhead certainly had to put something together, and he'd done enough just to stay in it, really. So now we are down to 2 matches on the schedule. There will be not a lot more showing up here. We've got Albinario and One Pocket Slim Sunday evening at 8 o'clock, and Slim will no doubt be live streaming that on his channel. Coldest Pillow and Cobra in the hot seat match at 7 o'clock a week on Sunday, and I will be there for that. That's the night before I go back to work after my week off next week. So I'll be there to cover that one. And another quick update before we go. We will have a look at the sign-ups for the Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. For anybody who doesn't know, there is space for 64 players in the tournament. There are still 48 open seats, and that tournament will go live on Friday, the 9th of May at 10 p.m. British summertime. The players in the sign-ups at the moment are Bedhead, Brainflout, Cobra, Coldest Pillow, Howie Wowie, Vertical Liquid or Liquid Lochstar, who I think signed up for these before. I'm not convinced he's played in them. Matt's in, Miasma's in, Slim's in, Rabbi's in, Stubbs in, Sergaresh, Spectre Dawn, Tommy Biking, Larry will sign up soon enough, as will a good number of other people eventually. So there's loads of seats available and plenty of time to get some practice in before the event comes around. But in the meanwhile, time we've got this straight pool to get done with. So that is it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, well done to Bedhead and well done to Matt. He had a good go at it, but Matt will certainly fancy his chance. In fact, did I say Matt was signed up to that 9-ball? Yes, so he's going to fancy his chances in the 9-ball. But remember, there are no jump cues in the 9-ball. It's going to be about learning to kick those balls. And talking about kicking balls, I'm away to watch the football. Right, guys, take care, and we'll see you again soon. And I wish you a very good night, and hope you can join us again. See you later.